Welcome back to the deep dive. We are nearing the end of our series on a Minami-Osawa, and today I want to try a little experiment with you.
Okay.
Wherever you are right now, I want you to transport yourself mentally to the center of Minami-Osawa. You're standing right outside the station. Now look up. Look straight up at the sky. What do you see?
Or maybe the more important question is, what don't you see?
Exactly. If you've spent any time in Tokyo, you know the skyline is usually just this chaotic web of wires.
Oh, yeah. Black power lines, transformers, cables everywhere. It slices the sky into all these little shapes.
It's that classic Blade Runner aesthetic.
Right. It's iconic. It's messy, for sure, but it has this certain charm. But in Minami-Osawa...
It's gone. Completely gone. The sky is just wide open. And honestly, the first time you see it, it feels a little unnatural.
It does. You don't realize how used you are to that visual noise until it's not there. It's almost like a movie set.
Or like a computer render that hasn't finished loading yet.
But that unnatural feeling is actually the product of some incredibly heavy engineering. That open sky is a luxury.
It's a feature, not a bug.
It's a key feature of this place being a new town. The chaos isn't gone, it's just been moved.
And that is our mission for this deep dive. We've looked at the hills, the architecture. Today, we're looking down. We are peeling back the pavement to reveal the invisible city right under our feet.
Because the reason the sky is so empty is that the ground is, well, it's absolutely packed. We're talking about a huge, complex labyrinth of infrastructure.
And the city leaves clues for us, right? We can't see the tunnels themselves, but we can see the gateways.
The manholes. And in true Japanese fashion, they're not just industrial access points.
No, they've turned them into an art gallery. So today, we're going to explore the engineering marvels underground and then decode the art on the surface.
To understand why it's all underground, you have to go back to the history of the Tama Newtown project.
Right, this wasn't a city that grew organically over centuries.
Not at all. This was a massive, planned government initiative from the late 1960s, the Showa 40s.
And they were starting from scratch, basically.
Exactly. Think about trying to lay a new internet cable in an old part of Tokyo. It's a nightmare. You're digging up roads, dodging ancient pipes.
That's like archaeological surgery.
That's a good way to put it. That's why they just string wires on poles. It's cheap. It's fast.
But here, they had a blank slate, a tabula rasa.
So they made a strategic choice. Bury everything. But not just in the dirt. They built what are called common utility ducts, or CUDs.
Which are essentially underground hallways, from what I've read.
That's the perfect way to visualize it. These are reinforced concrete corridors, big enough for a worker to walk through.
So that's why you rarely see road construction here.
Precisely. If a pipe bursts, you don't bring in a jackhammer. You just open a hatch, climb down, and walk to the problem. One source called it infrastructure heaven.
Infrastructure heaven. I love that. It's like a paradise for pipes.
It really is.
I was looking at the list of what's actually in these tunnels, and it's wild. You've got the basics, of course. Electricity, water, gas.
The standard triad. But then it gets much more specific to a planned community.
Right. High-speed internet, obviously. But then I saw police signal control cables.
Ah, that's a crucial one. All the traffic lights, the surveillance systems, emergency communications. They have their own dedicated hardline.
So they're separate from the civilian grid.
It's a built-in redundancy.
Yeah.
Even if there's a disaster and the main grid goes down, public safety systems stay online.
You can only really do that if you plan it from day one.
Exactly.
And then there's district heating and cooling. This one kind of blew my mind.
This is a huge efficiency win for new towns. Instead of every building having its own boiler, there's a central plant for the whole district.
Like a citywide circulatory system.
You got it. They heat or chill water at one location and then pump it through massive pipes in those tunnels to all the buildings.
You could never retrofit that into, say, Shinjuku.
Not easily, no. You need that underground real estate.
And what about the gray water systems? That's another level of eco-planning.
It really is. Gray water is, treated wastewater from sinks and showers. It's not drinkable, but it's perfect for other things.
So they have a whole separate plumbing system running parallel.
Yep. Piping that recycled water back into the city to flush toilets in public buildings or water the parks.
It's just incredible to think about. You're walking on a quiet path, and just a few meters beneath you is this highway of power, data, and water pulsing away.
It redefines what a city is. The surface is the interface. The real machine is underground.
So if the machine is hidden, how do we engage with it? We can't just pop open a tunnel.
No. And legally, please don't try that. You'll meet the local police very quickly.
Right. Safety first. But we can engage with the gateways. And this brings us to the surprisingly deep world of manhole culture.
It sounds funny if you're not from Japan, but this is a serious hobby.
The manholers.
That's the term, yeah. There are thousands of people who travel all over the country just to collect photos and even trading cards of manhole designs.
The government issues manhole cards, right?
They do. It's
Yeah.
genius, really. Local tourism driven by infrastructure.
But let's get technical for a moment because there's a distinction in the terminology.
Right. The big circular lids are technically called jinku. The characters literally mean manhole.
As in, big enough for a person to fit through?
Exactly. But you also see smaller lids, often on the sidewalk.
Those are handholes.
Handholes.
I just love how literal that is.
It's purely utilitarian. It's just big enough for you to stick your arm in and pull a cable.
So we have the jinku and the handholes. But here, they're not just functional grids, they're canvases.
This started back in the 80s. A bureaucrat realized infrastructure was, well, boring. So he suggested municipalities design their own covers to foster some civic pride.
And it worked.
It worked incredibly well. Now almost every town has its own custom design, often with colored resins. They'll have local flowers, mascots, landmarks.
It turns a simple walk into a treasure hunt. I found myself just staring at the pavement the last time I was there.
And in Minami-Osawa, that treasure hunt tells you the story of the ground you're on.
So let's start with the most common clue. If you're walking around the station, look for a cover stamped with two letters, N and T.
NT, which stands for Newtown.
It's really that simple.
It is, but think about what it means. If you see that NT, you know you are standing on reclaimed ground. You're on land that was part of that huge government project.
It's a signature, built by the state.
It's the watermark of the Tama Newtown Authority.
And once you spot one, you see all the variations. You've got covers marked with the kanji for electricity den.
Leading to those big power trunks.
You've got CITV covers.
For cable TV and communications. A reminder this city was wired from day one.
And then the fire cistern markers, usually with a bright yellow border.
And those are critical. They mark underground water tanks just for firefighting. It's a key part of the disaster prep built into the grid.
It's fascinating. The city is literally labeling its own internal organs. Here are the nerves, here are the veins.
The surface is calm, but the systems below are all labeled if you know the code. But there's one cover that goes way beyond just a utility label. It's a real piece of art.
The masterpiece. Okay, if you're planning a visit, you need to find Nakago Park. That's Nakago Park.
It's a beautiful park, but the main attraction for us is right under your feet.
You'll find a manhole cover there that just stops you in your tracks. It's colorful, intricate, and it depicts a puppet.
Not just any puppet. This is the Hakioji Kuruma Ningyo.
Okay, let's break that down. Hachioji, Kuruma, Ninyo.
Right. Kuruma is cart or wheel, and Ningyo is puppet. So Hakioji's cart puppetry.
And this is a huge cultural touchstone for the Hakioji area.
Oh, it's huge. It's an intangible cultural asset. It dates back to the late Edo period, mid-19th century.
Now, when I think of Japanese puppetry, I think of bunraku, with the three guys in black hoods.
Right. Bunraku is the most famous, and it takes 3 people to operate one puppet. But Kuruma Ningyo is unique. It's a solo act.
One person does it all.
One person. And this is where the Kuruma, the wheel, is key. The puppeteer sits on a little wheeled box, a Rokuro Kuruma.
So like a little rolling cart.
Exactly. And because they're sitting on it, they can use their toes to control the puppet's feet.
Wait, their toes?
Their toes operate the puppet's feet. Their hands do the arms and head. And because they're on wheels, they can just glide across the stage. It creates this incredibly fluid, dynamic movement.
That is just wild. It sounds incredibly physical.
It's a serious workout. And to see that specific art form on a manhole cover, I mean, just think about the contrast.
That's what gets me. You have this heavy industrial lid for a high-tech tunnel filled with fiber optics, and on top of it, they've painted this delicate 19th century folk art.
It's the perfect synthesis of Minami-Osawa, isn't it? The futuristic Newtown infrastructure supporting the deep, traditional roots of Hakioji.
It's almost poetic. The city is brand new, but they've stamped the history of the region right into the metal of the streets.
It anchors the new to the old, and it shows that technology and culture don't have to be in conflict.
There's another design like that too, right?
Yes, near the station. Keep an eye out for the 100th anniversary of Hakioji city design.
Another splash of color that just reminds you that you're in a place with a real legacy, even if the mall next to you is brand new.
It changes how you walk. You stop just trying to get from A to B. You start scanning the ground. You become an active observer of the city's life support system.
It's the aha moment. We started by looking up at the empty sky, wondering where the wires went.
And now we know. They're right under the puppet's cart.
And that realization just changes everything. When you see that empty sky now, you don't just see a pretty view, you see an engineering triumph.
Precisely. You see the result of decades of planning.
We have covered so much ground, the open sky, the rolling hills, the architecture, and now the deep underground. But we are not quite done.
No, there's one more frontier left.
We have to go to the edge. For our final episode, we are walking to the limit of the city, the border between Tokyo and Kanagawa Prefecture.
The Sakai River. It's a fascinating place where the new town meets the untamed nature of the valley.
It's going to be a great finale. But before we go, and I know you're all going to start checking the pavement now, here's a thought to take with you.
We walk over these covers every single day. We ignore them. But next time you see that iron circle or that NT mark, just stop. Remember, you're standing on top of a massive hidden machine, a network of energy and information pulsing just beneath your feet, keeping the world around you alive. You're not just on a street, you're on the roof of an invisible city.
See you in the next deep dive.